Hello, and welcome to an unexpected cosplay.
I'm Aisha.
I'm Lexi, and
this will be our first video ever.
We decided to start off with a intro to cosplay video because we know when we started out, we definitely needed help.
A lot of help.
A lot of help when we did our first group costume together, and so we thought we would give back to the cosplay community because we've had so much fun doing cosplay. I've been doing cosplay for 5 or 6 years now. You 7 or 8.
A long time.
Yeah,
and
so
I really want to help people get into it because it's such a great hobby. You meet so many great people.
So I guess we'll start off today with
The reason to cosplay.
Yeah. So our biggest reason to cosplay is because it's just so much fun.
And we like to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it is just that it's costume play. So, have fun with it. A lot of people can take it very seriously and whatever. And I just think it's great to have fun with it. It is a hobby. It is something you do for fun. So.
And you learn a lot. That's a plus.
Yeah. So definitely have fun with whatever it is. Whatever aspect of cosplay you're doing, whether you're helping someone, you're doing group cosplay, you're doing a singular cosplay, just have fun.
And the second most important rule, I guess, do not worry about your body type. You're dressing as a character, but that doesn't matter. You don't have to be thin for them, large for them, short, tall. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. We've seen a couple videos from other cosplayers or whatever, just who think, oh, I'm a bustly woman, so I can only cosplay the busty women characters.
And I'm flat as an ironing board, but I still like to cosplay women and men. It doesn't matter.
So, we're doing an upcoming cosplay for Lord of the Rings for Comic-Con this year. Do I look like Legolas? No. Am I going to cosplay him? Yes.
Do I look like Aragorn? Not in the least bit, but that's not going to stop me.
So I think if it matters to you, that's fine. I'm not trying to change anybody's preferences here, but
yeah. But if you're somebody who feels limited by your body, don't ever feel like that.
Yeah. Because most of the community is just having fun. You may get some people on the internet, oh, you're dumb, or you did that wrong, or whatever, which we've had, some of that.
Had quite a few.
Where people are, but it's just the internet. You don't know these people. It doesn't matter. If you are proud of what you've created and how you pulled it off and you had a good time doing it, then I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly. Nothing the anonymous people say will matter. Because it's about feeling good in something you made.
Yeah, so don't let the other people bring you down if you feel like, oh, I can't do this because people will think. Don't. Next thing is...
when you want to start a cosplay, start out easy.
Start out with whatever your skill set is.
Yeah, pretty much.
First time we did a cosplay together...
we tackled,
way more.
Armor and multicolored wigs, and it was just bad.
We tackled all the stuff that we could probably barely just start tackling now.
Yeah.
5 years later. So
pretty much.
Start out with what you think you can accomplish.
If you draw, sculpt, maybe you've done hand sewing, it's a little bit easier to get started. That's okay if you haven't. We have tutorials just for you.
Yeah, we'll be making tutorials in the future with just some basic, how to create a pattern or alter a pattern so that it fits you or looks like your character. But definitely start out with what your skill set is. And then don't be afraid to ask people for help. There's tons of people on the internet, whether it's cosplay forums or YouTubers or whatever, who have been doing cosplay longer than you, or not necessarily longer, but, they have a higher skill set than you. And don't be afraid to ask them for help, or if you're at a convention and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that cosplay in the future, what material did you use for that cape because it looks perfect, or whatever. Or
most of them will gladly help you as long as you're nice about it.
Yes.
Like, oh, I used this and this. Because I've asked Loki cosplayers, how do you keep that helmet on your head?
Yeah.
And they've gladly answered me.
So, and also don't be afraid to ask your friends or family for help if you're not great at sewing, but they are. And also don't take advantage of the people that help you in the past. I know definitely Aisha has had friends that are like, oh, you can sew, I can't sew, here, can you make this costume for me?
Make this entire costume for me, and I won't say thank you.
Yeah.
Because I'm a butt.
So definitely don't use or abuse the people that help you. Even if, like, you have your friend sewing a costume for you, offer help where you can. Oh, do you want me to pin this down for you while you sew that? Do you want me to go to the fabric store and get that extra thing that you need? Do you want me to go order your wig? You know, things like that, so you can help.
You can do a lot to help, because you'll be learning so much more if you help a little bit than just sitting and doing nothing while somebody sews your entire costume.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with if you don't have someone who can help you and you don't have the skill set, you can definitely go and purchase a costume. I think it is so much funner when you're wearing a costume that you created, because then when people tell you that you look good, or
you feel
wow,
really
your
proud.
costume looks really great, it's like, thank you, I did it, me.
Yeah, and it's a great feeling when you see improvement in yourself, whether you're singing, sewing, dancing. It's just an amazing feeling, and I think that's like one of the best parts of cosplay. So
there's nothing wrong with starting out with purchasing cosplays. I don't have any experience with purchasing a cosplay, because it is just so much more fun to create it. But there's nothing wrong with it. Just know that I've seen other people who have purchased cosplays and they don't fit properly. They're not worth the money you spent on them.
You're taking a risk.
Yeah, so even though you're spending $200 to get it, whereas if you made it, you'd be spending 60 hours. Is the 60 hours worth the not as good quality as if you made it yourself? And there's plenty of ways to start out. You know, you can get just basic patterns at the fabric store and then alter them to your character.
You can go to a thrift store because they have a lot of clothes there that you can alter, or just wear it plain, because some anime characters are plain.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that, you know, I have a shirt and some jeans and some boots, and then there's a little painting on, or like a little pattern or something that you could paint on there.
Exactly. That's where you should start.
Oh, and also, this might be just us, but a huge pet peeve is when you are using your natural hair, and it looks nothing like the character. Wigs, you can get pretty nice wigs in the $20 to $40 range. Most of our wigs cost no more than $40.
I know, I'm a pretty cheap person, so I think the most I've spent on a wig is like $45, but I normally spend $20, and it adds so much to the costume. You don't have to style your hair. You have this wig you can just put on whenever you need it to, and especially if it's like pink or something, you don't want to dye your hair pink if you're not comfortable with that, because some people don't like to damage their hair. That's cool if you do dye your hair pink. But for a lot of people like me, I would rather get a wig that's pink. And it does photograph a lot better. Like this, not my real hair, obviously, real
because
hair,
it's
you can tell.
Lady Gaga blonde. But you know, my hair is nowhere near this long. So if I was, and it's nowhere near long enough to do. You probably can't tell, but we're in our USO Captain America cosplays. Yeah. My hair's nowhere near long enough to do a 40s style hairdo, so wigs definitely help.
Yeah, we will have videos later on wigs, so don't feel intimidated. We can help you with the basics.
Yes. I think next thing is when you are creating, don't worry about having the best of the best.
Yeah.
This wig, $20. It works perfectly for what I need it.
Yeah, exactly.
We probably spent upwards of $30, $40 to get all the fabric for this cosplay, and we have like 8 yards. 8
yards of fabric right here. Coupons. So, use coupons.
Coupons.
And another thing to not worry about is you don't have to be perfect with your sewing. Hey, I still mess up all the time. I'm like, how did I really mess up on that? But most of the time, people don't see me mess up. It's just you, because I'm a really nitpicky person. So I'm like, oh, that's
you know you did it wrong, so you focus on it, but the other people don't know you've done it wrong because it's not glaringly obvious.
So just don't worry about stuff like that. You want everything to look good as a whole. If you get obsessed with the small details, you're going to be sewing until 2 a.m. the day of the convention, and nothing is done.
Which
this has happened.
I've been sewing day of the convention in the morning. So
and at the convention.
At the convention in the hotel room the night before, and oh, I have to wear this costume tomorrow. Let's bring this rinky-dinky $10 Kmart sewing machine and sew this together. And, you know, give yourself ample amount of time. That is another big thing that we did not put on our point cards that are over here, but give yourself ample amounts of time. Comic-Con is in July. It is January.
We're starting now for Lord of the Rings and everything else. Because
we've got a number of them planned. But more often than not, we've started 2 months before, you know, she's got school. I have a full-time job. You know, it's hard to work your life schedule around cosplay sometimes. So give yourself more time than you think you need, because you could mess up. You could do any number of things where you're like, oh, now I have to do another trip to the fabric store, which for me, I live in a very small town, and the nearest fabric store is an hour away, so just give yourself plenty of time.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps up everything that we wanted to say for this first video.
If we have any questions, you can just leave them down there. We will gladly answer.
And then if you have anything that you would like to know for future videos, whether it's, you know, us here talking, or we will probably create a Facebook page with a list of our upcoming cosplays. And you're like, oh, I'm also going to make that cosplay. What are you using for this? Or could you make a video where you are creating this part of the cosplay, or whatever. So, leave as many comments on anything cosplay related down in the bar.
And we hope that helped.
So hopefully we'll see you in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed this video.
This has been an unexpected cosplay video. Bye.
Bye.